Hi everyone, it's Jimmy from the Mentulls here. Hope you're keeping safe and well and keeping warm. It's very cold. And welcome to this next episode of Monday Night with the Mentulls. In this episode I'll be telling you all about my musical influences and my favourite keyboard players and musicians who have influenced me. I could sit here and talk about musical influences all night because it's something that's really important to me, and I've got so many influences, but I'm going to have to try and scale it down and not ramble on too much. It started for me when I was very young, and I was watching a Jethro Tull DVD, must be around the early 2000s, and it was a DVD called Living with the Past, and I was watching the DVD, and one of the tracks came up, the second track I think of the set, and it was Cross-Eyed Mary. The keyboard player who was in Jethro Tull at that time, called Andrew Giddings, he was playing keyboards, and I remember he was playing the Pacific part, I think. Cross-Eyed Mary, he was playing like an organ pad, and it wasn't anything really complicated, but it was just really laying down the groove and laying down the parts. And I just remember how cool he was sounding and how cool his keyboard sounds were, and then I knew instantly that that's what I wanted to do for my living, being a keyboard player for my living and playing all over the world. So after seeing Andy play with Jethro Tull a lot of times, and the first concert I ever went to live in Newcastle, I was totally inspired and I knew this is what I wanted to do. Actually, the next keyboard player to really inspire me and fill me with so much artistic creation was actually the next keyboard player to be in Jethro Tull after Andy Giddings, which was a guy called John O'Hara. And again, such an amazing player, and he played some great keyboard sounds, some great organ sounds, some great piano sounds. Pretty much at this point I was only gigging with a single keyboard. It was a Casio, and I can't remember what make it was, but it was a Casio keyboard. Not particularly great piece of equipment, but it did the job. From 2012 to 2013 I was really a keyboard player who just played a keyboard and played all the sounds on it. 2014 we were lucky enough to do some gigs, open up for one of our favourite bands, Focus, and this is basically a memory that completely changed my life forever, and I'll still remember it to this day. The first gig with Focus was at the Robin Tour in Wolverhampton in Bilston. Tice was there playing his Hammond B3, his portable had B3 and his Leslie 122. The Leslie was cranked, and the music he was playing was actually incredible, and the tone coming from his Leslie was amazing, and he was playing these jazz rock kind of licks, and it was echoing through this whole venue, and I just stood there in complete amazement. I went up on stage and set my Casio keyboard up right next to his B3, and I was kind of looking at the both, and I was like, Casio keyboard, Hammond, and then Leslie cranked up. And then that basically changed my life forever, and it made me want to be a Hammond organ player and learn Hammond licks and carry a Leslie speaker around with me and play a real drawbar organ live to the gigs. And it was a massive pathway into where I am now and the path I'm still be going on. And obviously getting into the Hammond thing with Tice Van Leer, that also led me into being influenced by so many other great Hammond players. Mr. Bob Van Dismer from he used to play in King and now plays in Joanne Shaw Taylor. Bob also helped me out and with some other Hammond stuff behind me. Other players like Ken Ensley, R.I.P. Ken Ensley from Uriah Heep. Ken really influenced me. Also people like John Lord as well who came along the way. You know, that really big thick kind of organ sound, and it's kind of like you're pushing the volume on the organ and the Leslie, and it's just overdrive, and it just probably one of the best sounds you'll ever hear on stage, and nothing really beats playing on a big festival stage with a Leslie cab behind you, cranking it up and pulling out the drawbars through the songs. It's just an amazing feeling. I'd like to finish off this video by just telling you about some of the other keyboard players that in the last couple of years have really struck a chord with me and influenced me a lot. Players like David Pace from Toto. The last couple of years we've seen Toto live on tour a couple of times, and it's been the most amazing show I've ever seen. Such great musicianship. Hammond licks and piano licks, definitely in the Rosanna solo, are completely amazing. Another great player is a keyboard player called Ian Jennings, and he's known from playing with Mostly Autumn. I'm sure you all know them. I only saw Mostly Autumn live for the first time at the Lion Inn near where I live, and it was absolutely incredible. His keyboard playing just from the first song just completely inspired me. His playing reminded me of Tony Banks from Genesis, and just some of the parts he plays and the sounds. You know, it's such talented stuff and such amazing stuff. Okay, thank you for tuning in everybody. Hope I didn't ramble on too much, and see you soon.